Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Joche and I'm your go-to girl for all things real. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about motherhood. I'll try to also give you some tips on some things that help me. People encourage women to be moms pretty much their whole lives before they are like able to really talk and understand friendship and relationships. When it comes with the gender roles, you know, we're giving little girls baby dolls and teaching them how to be mommies and care for their babies. We're teaching them to be nurturing. We're teaching them how to be wives, especially in heterosexual and Christian families, right? We don't prioritize your own individuality aside from being a wife and being a mother, especially post-baby. I remember when I had my son, Josiah, I felt like for a while that people forgot about me, Joche, as a person. I felt like, you know, when people greeted me, well, where's the baby? Or how's Josiah doing? Or, you know, he's so cute, he's so adorable, oh my goodness. But they would kind of forget about me and who I was. And it's the same thing that happens when a woman gets married. Well, where's your husband? You know, you didn't bring your husband, where is he? How's he doing? When you become a mother, when you become a wife, sometimes you get lost in the duties and the roles of being a mother and a wife. People kind of forget about you as the individual and what you actually want and what you actually enjoy. And it happens so much and it's become so normalized that we even forget us as the individual. We forget the things that we enjoy doing that makes us fun, that makes us happy outside of being such and such as mommy. And so I think that that may contribute to the unhappiness that we end up dealing with. But then also people start to make decisions for us because of us becoming mothers. And I'm sure you're like, well, what are you talking about? What do you mean? In a workplace, people make decisions for you. They say, well, you know, I don't know if this person can handle this promotion because she's a mom of young children and she may not be able to handle the obligations that it comes with. So for that, I say be careful about what you share about your personal life in a workspace as a mother, because it can and will be used against you whether you know it or not. The other thing is your friends and family start to do the same thing and stop inviting you to go places when you have kids because they think that you can't prioritize doing something for yourself anymore, and they think that you don't want to go. You stop being invited to go out for drinks or go out and have fun. Or people do the thing where they're like, oh, it's cool, bring the kids with you, no problem. And it's like, as a mom, yes, problem, because although we love our kids and they mean the world to us, we don't always want to bring them with us. We don't want to be excluded, but we don't want to be thought of in hindsight, or just bring them with you, because the thing is, especially for people who don't have kids, you don't necessarily understand what it takes to get a small child ready to go somewhere. Now, it does get easier as the kids get older and they get more self-sufficient and able to do things by themselves. I would say probably by age 2. Even age 1, you know, you can teach them certain things, but when they're talking to you and they're able to put their own shoes on and even dress themselves, it is a little bit easier because it doesn't take as long. But especially with moms that have toddlers and newborn babies, it is a lot of effort to get them ready. If you can rush and get ready in 5 minutes, go ahead and add an hour to that when you have a baby. And small babies, they throw up, they have diarrhea, they do these type of things. Like, you might change their diaper and get them ready, and then they have a blowout all over their clothes, and then you literally are late now because of that. It's just a different ball game. And so when it comes to doing things with your adult friends, you don't always want to have that be your prepping before you go somewhere. And it's simply because when you are with your friends that you had before becoming a mom, not your mommy friends, but your friends, that like your college friends, your high school friends, your friends without kids, you kind of want to get away from your mommy hat and into your girlfriend hat and just have a good time. And the same thing applies sometimes in the workplace. Like, maybe work is that escape from being mommy, from being wife, from having to deal with the ins and outs of being a wife and a mother. And so you don't always want to talk about the kids and what's going on at home or what's going on in your marriage or your relationship or whatever. So I think that is what can make it lonely. I do remember feeling left out, seeing my friends like have fun and just, you know, do whatever, go wherever, go on trips and stuff like that, when my son was really young and I just wasn't able to do it. During my pregnancy, my friends were really supportive and I spent a lot of time with them. I was often the designated driver. I was also a senior in college for most of my pregnancy. So I was pretty young. I was 21 and 22 while I was pregnant. But like after I graduated college is when it got really lonely, and I was dealing with a not so ideal relationship situation that I've already shared. I'll try to link some videos down below so that I don't ramble off on that. And it just got lonely. People started forgetting to check on me. People started only remembering to check on me when it pertained to my baby, but not necessarily me as the person. And then I felt in some ways that I didn't have the support that I needed from my family and my friends. Like, don't get me wrong, I was able to stay with my mom or my stepmom and my dad, and that was nice, but I didn't really always have someone I could talk to about my feelings and things like that. So one thing that I would recommend is therapy. Therapy is such a great tool for people, especially women of color. I didn't do therapy until my son was 5 years old. I wish that I would have done it a lot sooner. I probably should have done therapy at 16 when my mom passed away, but my dad asked me and I was just like, no, I'm fine, I'm good, I got my friends, I'm happy, I'm cool. But I honestly should have taken therapy at that point to really process the loss that I took. And you know, 10 years later, my older sister passed away from cancer, and that was when I decided I was gonna go ahead and get some therapy. I didn't start until a few months later, but I knew like, okay, I'm dealing with this whole Rona situation. My life's got flipped upside down, dealing with this loss of my sister. The workplace is stressful as hell, as it was for most of us, and I need something before I lose it in here, okay? It's funny now, but it wasn't funny then. Seriously. So I do think that therapy is a great tool. The other thing is just communicating your needs to the people that are there to support you. If you are in a relationship, do not be afraid to ask daddy for help, okay? I know some people culturally feel like all the things with rearing children are for the women and then the men are there to provide. But that's part of why I don't believe in all these old school male provide, woman take care of the home, stay at home wife type values. Now, if you do that, no shade to you, because that's good. That works for you and your family. But for me, I feel like the man should help with the kids. Your husband, your boyfriend that you had kids with should help you with your kids. It should not all be on you to do, because mentally raising kids is a lot. It's a lot to deal with. And these whole things of, well, men shouldn't change diapers and they shouldn't do this because of that. Don't marry somebody that you're worried about having pedophilic ways. Don't lay down with somebody that they give you creepy vibes. Like, don't do it. Because at the end of the day, if you pass away, and I know that sounds extreme as hell, but after losing my mama and my sister, hey, it's a possibility. If I were to go and me and my husband had a kid together, I would want him to know how to change diapers. Because at the end of the day, that's his kid too. If you've seen that movie Fatherhood on Netflix, oh my gosh, I cried so much. It was such a good movie. It was such a good, like, heartfelt movie for me. But that's a perfect example of how, like, his wife died and he had to learn this stuff. So don't be afraid to ask your children's dad to help you. Even if y'all learn together, it's called co-parenting. Get over the stuff that doesn't have anything to do with the baby. Focus on the parenting and let them help you. Another advice that I can give you is also get the grandparents involved, whether it's your grandparents or your child's grandparents or the godmoms. ask them to help you when you need a mental break. Just, you know, you got to get in where you fit in. If they offer to do it for the weekend, great. If they offer to do it for a couple of hours, great. But get those opportunities when you can, and be able to trust, you know, the people that you do know are trustworthy, to do that and take that weight off of you for that few hours, and try to get that in regularly. Like, it makes me sad when I hear my friends that have become mothers saying to me, like, you know, I haven't had a break in a year. I haven't had a break. And so my son was really young. I was a single mom. I had a babysitter. And so my babysitter, she was awesome at the time. Like, she did overnight visits and everything like that. So I actually had breaks pretty often. Once I got married, my son got older, we did stop using that babysitter. And so that was when we stopped really having a lot of those overnight opportunities and things like that, where we could just have that mental break. But I will say, I think Josiah was 4 or 5 the first time that I had a break from my husband and my baby for a whole weekend by myself. I think what happened that weekend was my son's grandmother kept him for the whole weekend, and my husband was traveling for business. So I was alone at home all by myself, and although I felt lonely at first, it was really refreshing to just have that time by myself. And it was the time that I didn't realize that I actually needed. And there might have been a couple more times sprinkled in there, but that doesn't come often once you become a mother. And the more kids you have, the harder it is to get that time. So it's really important to use the resources that you have, or find those resources. Like I said, when I was a single mom, I had to find those resources, because although my dad let me stay there, he was not the babysitting type, okay? Now that my son is older, he's in 1st grade, my dad loves for my son to come over there because he's self-sufficient. My daddy don't do diapers. I can count on one hand. I doubt that my dad changed my diapers, because when I got home to pick my baby up, when my dad had to change a diaper, it was on backwards. So my daddy didn't do diapers. But I say all that to say that, you know, it's good to figure out some sort of alleviation for you. Now, I know sometimes money is an issue. I'm not even gonna sit here and make this video and not mention money. But if it's not, I know a lot of moms say, well, I don't trust anybody with my baby because I saw these things, and, you know, I'm scared. She can't talk yet. He can't talk yet. And that is all valid. And that is completely normal to be worried about those things. But the thing is, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So if you are drained because you're mothering full time and you're working and you need some relief, I would just recommend considering it. And as far as getting back to you, you know, the person that you were besides being the mom and wife, or mom and girlfriend, mom, fiance, mom, period, it's just focusing in on what makes you happy. There were things that you loved to do before you became a mom. Are those things still doable? If they are doable, start doing them. Maybe you have to do them when you put the baby down for a nap, or when the kids are asleep. If your kids are older like mine, like, I get my quiet time a lot at night when my son goes to sleep. And now that school's back in, he goes to sleep much earlier. So that gives me a lot of time to just decompose after a long day, plan for my channel, work on social media content. Those are things that are really important to me. I also love to exercise. I love Zumba. I'm working on getting my body back. Okay, your girl used to be in Wonderland. And now I'm in like the 60s, almost 250, like, child, I'm trying. But I am very active. I work out as much as I can, and I've been really mindful of my diet as well. So those are things that I focus on for myself. I've been making YouTube videos since I was in high school, and, you know, I love that. So that's something I never stopped doing. I did take a little break while I was in senior year because I was pregnant, dealing with like depression and drama, and I just did not have the drive to make YouTube videos. But having my baby actually did bring me back to YouTube. My baby update was what brought me back to this channel right here, because I was like, I've been sharing my life all along. Like, I might as well come back here and start again. And it was probably the best decision that I could have made, because I absolutely love YouTube, and I love being able to share my journey with you guys and connect with you all and talk about these real things, because you're not alone. And as much as I felt like I was, sharing those experiences with you helped me realize that it's plenty of us out here dealing with the same things. So if you don't feel like you have that support, and maybe you don't, I would also recommend social media as a way to build those connections. Facebook has a lot of great supportive mom communities for Black women, and for other women that, you know, you don't have to be Black, but I'm Black, so I'm talking from my Black experience. Plenty of Black mom support groups, and I feel the love in those communities. I'll try to drop a couple of the ones that I like to look at in my description box. But that's just my advice. If you have any questions or tips for women that are in the same situation, please drop them down below. Let's get this going and, you know, help each other out. Being a mom is an adjustment, but it's one of the best things that you can experience. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, wherever in the world you are watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.